built to provide shelter for the elk, kangaroo, and fallow deer. Most of the carnivorous animals were kept in cages behind the garage area at the hilltop. These animals included lions, leopards, tigers, and cheetahs. The bear cages were the most modern of the time. They provided more freedom of movement for the animals than the cages in most American zoos. Mr. Hearst provided for all the special needs of all the animals.
Architect Julia Morgan developed the village and the castle so that Mr. Hearst, his guest construction superintendent, head groundskeeper, and ranch manager. A bunkhouse for the single men who worked on the ranch, in the orchards, or at the poultry farm were constructed nearby. Barracks were built on the south slope of the hilltop for the construction crews. A servants' wing was added to the castle in the late 1920s for the household staff. All of these buildings still exist, but are not open to the public.
Because the ranch was isolated, Mr. Hearst had to make it as self-sufficient as possible. The orchards supplied fruit, including plums, cherries, apples, pears, and oranges. At the poultry farm, they raised pheasant, geese, ducks, turkeys, and chickens. The dairy herd had more than 100 Jersey cows. It supplied fresh butter and whole milk. Of course, the beef cattle herd provided much of the beef. In addition to the food raised, the corporation gave about 150 acres of land and the castle buildings to California state parks as a historical monument for the public to enjoy.
Enter the landscaped area near the castle. Notice the wide variety of trees and shrubs planted by Mr. Hearst's gardening staff and the beautifully crafted rock wall that lines the roadway. On the hilltop up to the left, you may see glimpses of a large concrete pillared structure called the pergola. In Mr. Hearst's time, the pergola was covered by grapevines and fruit trees growing up the sides and across the top. It was built for Mr. Hearst as a place where his guests could ride horseback or drive an automobile while enjoying the shade on a hot summer day. The pergola is 1.5 miles long, about 2.4 kilometers, and follows the contours of the hill. The Hearst Corporation still owns this part of the hilltop, and it is not open to the public. When your walking tour begins, we ask for your cooperation in following a few guidelines that will help preserve the Hearst collection for the enjoyment of future visitors. There are museum-quality collections of
Good morning. That's how they grow. Are you offering it? If you will, please. Oranges. Watch your fingers.
Fingers?
Watch your fingers.
What do you mean by fingers? Oh.
Watch your fingers.
No rain, it's so nice.
Well, what you're looking at out there is Mr. Hearst's front yard.
one.
It's a wow. Actually, it is. Where we're standing is 3.5 off, primarily by backing up. You know, take a picture, back up. Oh my God, excuse me. Increased it to the size of the oval, which you see there, and that's the way it stays inside. It would look so nice around that outdoor pool. Mount Juniper Serra in Monterey County. It's about 40 miles from Fort Hunter Liggett. If any of you have gone up and down Highway 101, you see a sign for his hilltop looked just like those before he started. Chose this one for the view. Yes, they were private. Yes, they had doors on them. And you'll see little.
Do you want to go on the garden tour? Here we go.
Here we go.
Gold, silver, Spanish hand-carved wooden beds, indoor plumbing.
All these imported.
Are you sure it's recording?
Yeah.
Looks like a shower last Yeah.
Imagine even making the holes for the ceiling. Which dress would you like to wear tonight? The sparkle one or the see-through?
Mm-hmm.
The sparkle one. Okay.
Look at the ceiling.
Let's just keep going constructed.
Well, could you make do for a weekend or a week? To try. Which one? Oh.
Hmm? Where? He's gone.
Yeah.
The tiles around the doors and in the center are Persian. This is now Iran. And then the tiles under the roof line.
Those are all purple flowers. Oh, I want to go in there.
You can't go in there. Maybe on the garden too.
La Casa Grande.
You know what could
Big
be there?
house. Where we're standing now was the main entrance. His guests were driven around the hilltop. They came up these stairs. The way we came in this morning was the equestrian entrance. So they would be met by the head housekeeper if you were assigned.
Oh my lord.
Drink of water. That little faucet. It is. Award-winning spring water.
Red brick on the top.
You can have a seat on the benches or the furniture and have a look, even though the sun's in our. Well, it looks like a church cathedral, doesn't it? It's modeled after the cathedral in Ronda, Spain. But that cathedral just has one tower he wanted to. The bells in the tower are carillon bells. They're played electrically, made in Belgium for the hilltop. And although this looks like a church, they did not go ding-dong and they did not play church music, Mr. Hearst liked Western music. Cowboy music. Hee-haw! This is the ranch. Yeah. Underneath the bells, the arched windows, it's a guest room in each tower. The celestial bedroom. And the wood in front is teak. Carved teak wood. Over his private suite of rooms. The long white wrought iron balcony is his sitting room. The little balcony to your right is his bedroom. Yeah, that's right, Long Island, New York. His wife Millicent was involved for the first 5 years of building the hilltop.